to our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses.
We have days to stop the destruction of our democracy. We have work to do.
We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest.
Gretchen.
Yes,
So,
they need the Democrats.
And like you said, they're trying to move it towards Elon.
But because the Democrats call you what they are, and then whatever they're super laser focused on, it means that something's wrong with them. Yeah. And so if they believe me, if they stop talking about Trump and they're over at Elon, that means that there is something wrong over here. We got to stop. We got to pause with the Nazi talk and all of the racism talk for a second, because we done took some money. Yeah. This man got the keys right to the box. Yes. And he's about to expose us to everyone. We may never get a vote again.
The Democrats are having a full-blown meltdown over Elon Musk. This man is literally being told by Trump, Trump is saying go through every line and every department of blank to see what is going on financially with those, where that money is being funneled.
And we're going to be signing a very important deal today. It's DOGE, and I'm going to ask Elon to tell you a little bit about it and some of the things that we found, which are shocking. Billions and billions of dollars in waste, fraud, and abuse. And I think it's very important. And that's one of the reasons I got elected. I said, we're going to do that. Nobody had any idea it was that bad, that sick, and that corrupt. And it seems hard to believe that judges want to try and stop us from looking for corruption, especially when we found hundreds of millions of dollars worth, much more than that, in just a short period of time. We want to weed out the corruption, and it seems hard to believe that a judge could say, we don't want you to do that. Well, so maybe we have to look at the judges, because that's a very serious, I think it's a very serious violation. I'll ask Elon Musk to say a few words, and we'll take some questions. Elon, go ahead.
Sure. So the at a high level, if you say what is the goal of DOGE, and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy. If there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, and if you have rule of the bureaucrat, if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have? If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy, we live in a bureaucracy. So it's incredibly important that we close that feedback loop, we fix that feedback loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large unelected bureaucracy. This is not to say that there are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that is responsive to the people. That's the whole point of a democracy. And if you looked at if you looked at the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want, and it does not match the will of the people. So it's just something we've got to fix. And then we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit, and if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really astounding that the interest payments alone on the national debt exceed the Defense Department budget, which is shocking, because we spend a lot of money on defense. But if that just keeps going, we're essentially going to bankrupt the country. So what I really want to say is, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million,
right,
etc.?
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened to USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But just there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it. We're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be present, that haven't been present. If your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay. Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely on the things that matter to the people. I mean, these things, it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical. I think it's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it.
This is terrifying them because now it's starting to look at the books. And they don't want those books to be looked at. And I'm talking about Republicans in Senate too, and in Congress. I'm not just talking about the Democrats in Congress, but the Democrats are cracking me up because they are having a meltdown. And I was looking at this video.
DOGE is doing... I don't understand. Look, I went on Facebook. I don't know why I did that, by the way.
Yeah. That was a mistake.
Why? Because my Democratic friends are all on there just talking crap about Donald Trump. And, the thing is, how can you guys be mad? DOGE just exposed so much of these people you voted for.
Right.
And you should be, and I'm talking, they also Republicans too. We should be happy about this. But your Trump derangement syndrome is so lost that you don't care about corruption all of a sudden.
No.
You only care about it when you see Republicans do it. It's just pathetic. Anyway.
I think I have a couple clips of this real quick to see what's going on. I don't know what even this is. I think this is her talking about it, but she's cracking me up.
The press secretary.
Yeah, Caroline Leavitt.
She's doing it.
Caroline Leavitt
is giving it to him.
These blondes.
Yeah, they doing it. Blonde.
We have a team of blondes out here.
This is why gentlemen prefer blondes. I should be one. No, I like my dark hair.
Imagine.
I'll stay a brunette.
USAID has gotten a lot of attention in the last couple of days with some of these bizarre things that we've been, taxpayers have been funding. Now it looks like there are a couple media outlets that have been dragged into this conversation as far as USAID funding as well. Does the President have any comment on that?
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than 8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOGE team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort. Thank you. I'd like to give some love to the back row. I've heard that unfortunately they haven't been called on in years past. So your colleague to your right, to my left.
Thanks, Caroline.
Yes.
Taylor with Spectrum News. You talked a bit about DOGE. Elon Musk is currently a, quote, special government employee who also owns companies that have billions of dollars in federal contracts. You said earlier this week that he has abided by all applicable federal laws, but what steps is the Trump administration taking to address that conflict of interest?
The president was already asked and answered this question this week, and he said if Elon Musk comes across a conflict of interest with the contracts and the funding that DOGE is overseeing, then Elon will excuse himself from those contracts. And he has, again, abided by all applicable laws.
But the Carolyn also talked. Oh, she briefly talked about some of the expenditures that they're doing within the USAID. and what the government spending their money on. And it's been incredible hearing some of the things that they've been spending this money on. It's really crazy. And you know, Elon says on X that that the USAID is a criminal organization funneling money and not telling taxpayers what that money's for. It's the first time we ever had this kind of transparency. So it's a little shocking to some, but this is very transparent of the Trump administration to do this.
If you look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either.
You see they're going line by line, right? And
these things add up.
These things...
we are trillions in debt. You know what I mean? And they are over here living high on the hog on our money. Mm-hmm. Doing just stupid things with our money.
A transgender opera? Not even in this country. It's in all other country. Right. Y'all.
It's the first time I've ever thought of a transgendered opera as being humanitarian relief. But there you go. Marco Rubio, who's now taking control of USAID, basically said this has been the problem. They've been a law unto themselves.
They have basically evolved into an agency that believes that they're not even a U.S. government agency, that they are a global charity, that they take the taxpayer money and they spend it as a global charity, irrespective of whether it is in the national interest or not in the national interest. They are supporting programs that upset the host government for whom we're trying to work with on a broader scale and so forth. So they're completely unresponsive. They just don't consider that they work for the U.S.
Donald Trump was far more succinct in his take on USAID.
What's going on? Well, it's been run by a bunch of radical lunatics, and we're getting them out. USAID, run by radical lunatics, and we're getting them out, and then we'll make a decision.
Trump is crazy, man. He's funny.
He just said they were all being like diplomatic about it and stuff. He's like, no, it's a bunch of lunatics out there.
Right.
Have y'all seen some of these experiments? It's crazy out there.
We're actually doing transgender reassignment surgery on other people in other countries.
Yeah.
They're paying money. We're spending money on that.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, so I was going to show the Democrat protest. This is like the best time in politics.
Good to be alive. It really is.
Good time to be alive.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses.
We have days to stop the destruction of our democracy. We have work to do. Tell Elon Musk to take his hands off your money. We don't pledge allegiance to the creepy 22-year-olds working for Elon Musk. We pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
And goddammit, shut down the city! We are at war!
We will win! We will win! We won't rest! We won't rest!
Gretchen.
Yes,
So,
they need the Democrats need a real leader. Okay.
Man, when I tell you,
who
Democrats,
does that?
I mean, when I tell you, Democrats learned nothing from that ass whooping.
They don't.
They don't know anything else but resistance.
Did you see that?
They don't know anything else but that. They don't know anything else but resistance. That's it.
Wasn't that glorious to see that? Schumer, they need to put him away somewhere. Yeah. They need to put him away. Now, they're, of course, terrified. They keep mentioning Elon Musk because Elon Musk obviously is messing up their... Look, this foreign aid thing, that money's being funneled right into other people's pockets, and they're doing all the wrong things with it. Okay, they're supporting Hamas and Gaza and everybody. It's some big charity that they all just made up and just adding and putting money into it and...
You see that the conversation is moving away from Trump and into Elon.
They're trying to
they're afraid of DOGE. They're afraid of the veil. I told you they wanted us to think that the wizard was real.
Yeah.
And then we found it was just a little man.
Just a little.
Behind a big curtain. They are over here just funneling money and just taking money, just doing whatever they want. And they are terrified. We got Maxine Waters out here with her sad self. Telling people to resist. And like, what are you talking about? Go back to your $8 million home and be quiet. And you know what I mean? The bald-headed woman, Ayanna Pressley.
Oh. Yeah, so it's Ayanna Pressley.
She's part of the squad.
They're losing it, you guys. The money is they're looking at all the expenditures. The fear, though, is really within Elon.
I mean, Donald Trump just keeps winning. I mean, he literally just keeps on winning after, and they are terrified. I don't know what to do with this man. They and his staff.
Yeah, and Trump told Elon to go line by line like that. And it's exactly what they didn't want.
Because the gravy train's about to end.
Yeah, because they realized that it's about to end, but this person had put up this thing. This is how, and like you said, they're trying to move it towards Elon.
But because the Democrats call you what they are, and then whatever they're super laser focused on, it means that something's wrong with them.
Yeah.
And so if they believe me, if they stop talking about Trump and they're over at Elon, that means that there is something wrong over here. We got to stop. We got to pause with the Nazi talk and all of the racism talk for a second, because we done took some money. Yeah. This man got the keys
right
to the box.
Yes.
And he's about to expose us to everyone. We may never get a vote again.
And this is the biggest. And so now what they're saying, what they're trying to put out there, trying to say now that this could be a data breach, because he now has access to all Americans' personal information. It's this data. It's dangerous for Elon to have this kind of information. It's so.
This is an unprecedented moment in our nation's history. Donald Trump and an unelected billionaire, Elon Musk, are illegally dismantling our government agency by agency and illegally stealing your data, your money, and your services. I would love for Mr. Musk to come here and testify before this committee so we can understand his qualifications to do this, because last I checked, running a social media platform does not qualify you for understanding how the U.S. government works and making sure that it can operate and serve the American people.
It's so horrible that he has this data, right? We all know that the moment you got online in the beginning of the www.internet.com, as soon as you got online, your data was already out there. Okay, so you're pretty, if anything, it's not secure anymore.
Right.
In case you're off the grid and never did it, then you're fine. But if you're us, it's going to something. Right. But so they're trying to make now the Americans freak out over this. With all of our data as being, he can see all that. He could be breaching some things. I'm like, no, that's not what you're scared of. You don't care about the data. That's protected as much as possible as any other data we have. What you're scared of is Elon looking into your spending.
Yeah, it's never, they don't care about us. Like Michael Jackson, they don't really care about us. They don't care about us. They only care about themselves. Remember that.
The spending is crazy, and they're trying to kind of like make Elon look like he is some type of criminal. That's what they're trying to, like he's going to be some part of some criminal enterprise by doing this. When really all they're doing is being transparent.
Right.
That's all they're doing. But the fear of Elon, look, let me show you this. They're so afraid of Elon. Someone mashed up how many times they said Elon during that protest that they were trying to do. And it was hilarious. It shows you who they're really scared of.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon
Elon Musk.
Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, Elon Musk, and Elon Musk, Elon Musk, and Elon Musk,
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk and Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Or
Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
They are terrified that this man is going to expose them horribly.
Oh my God! You guys,
and they are
beautiful.
terrified. These are look. These people hang out with Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
These people are the biggest, con artists you are ever going to meet.
It's absolutely glorious. It's the best thing ever.
And
his approval rating just keeps going up.
Yeah, his approval rating just went up.
Donald
again.
Trump's approval rating just went up again.
And was looking at that, Elon Musk is exposing them, and his approval rating, Donald Trump, is going up. Yeah. And what they're thinking of is, oh my God.
Oh God, what are we going to do now?
The Democratic Party's done. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if anybody's... I don't understand they can win. But I encourage them to keep this going, because then we'll have J.D. Vance for 8 years. So just keep this up. Because I'm loving watching CNN and watching these people lose their mind off fairness.
Yeah. And they keep saying he's not an elected official. Like, that's his position.
Yeah, everybody in government's not elected.
Right. Come on now. He's not. This is a position. First of all, genius DOGE. Yeah. This agency, this Department of Government Efficiency. How brilliant is that to basically audit the government? Have someone come in and just look at what they're spending money on. Right. Why would it look? Okay, so we had people in our comments that were like left wing people that were saying he has no right to be doing that. I'm like, you dummy. Like, listen, why would you not want to know what your government is spending your money on?
Yeah.
Explain that to me like I'm a 6-year-old.
Well, he wasn't elected. Again, these people were willing to put a woman in office who was not elected. She was anointed for that. They were fine with Kamala Harris being president, and then no one chose her.
Yes.
No one voted for her.
Someone said something.
Suddenly, they care about him being elected, but they don't care about a woman they were going to put as commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
And represent their party, who no one voted for.
Yep. Speaking of what you just said.
Really obvious but inconvenient question.
Stop abuse of power.
Yes.
In what regard?
Well, with everything that's happening in our politics, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Like with Trump?
Yes, it seems that money goes a long way right now with our politicians, and that needs to stop.
So would you say it was an abuse of power how they just removed Joe Biden out the Democratic primary and installed Kamala Harris?
I don't know that I can comment on it.
Gary just said that.
They call you what they are.
Yes, they do.
That's what Democrats do. The Democrats have ruined women.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sick of looking at white, black, and Hispanic, and anybody who's these women are nuts. You know what I mean? But they don't care. They don't care about fairness because of Kamala Harris is not fair. But they were willing to put her in because she's a woman. So they don't care about fairness. This is cap. They don't care what this whole. It's not fair that Trump did this and he's that. Like, it is fair.
They're being faced with their own hypocrisy.
Right.
Their own hypocrisy. They're being faced with that.
Like Daniel said, was it protesting is ridiculousness.
Ridiculous.
It gets nothing done. They have been protesting forever, and they just got trounced in an election. This is pathetic. It's fun. But again, I say, keep doing it because we will have J.D. Vance for the next 8 years.
I wonder when there will ever be another Democratic president. I don't see it. I don't see it anytime in the what, 20 years?
I mean, look, Daniel told me that the military has gone up with recruitments now.
I think 15% the military. So that's interesting, right? That's good. This is what Pete Hegseth, which is the Department of, he's DOD, Department of Defense. He said they did the numbers on the recruitment now of our military. It's gone up. I have to find the stats. But anyways, it's the largest growth in 15 years.
You put the real men back in charge,
and young men are starting to. They want to fight for the country,
right?
I'm just saying.
Because now there's a reason to die for the country. You got to. Who wants to die for DEI, LGBTQ,
right.
feminism, and BLM? No one's doing that. Who cares?
The adults are back in charge. And
what did Ellie Ho say to the Hodge twins? He said, "Liberal men. There are no liberal men."
He did say that.
He said, and Hodgman said, what did he say? What's the difference between a liberal man and a conservative man? And then Elliot Hull said, there are no liberal men.
He's like, what? Those aren't men.
Those aren't men. You know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we got to get back in order, people. This is a clown show that we're watching here.
Which it's very funny that Pete is okay with DOGE coming in and take a look at even their books.
It's accounting.
And I'm telling you right now, some of those DEI higher military people are shaking in their boots, and these higher ranked military executives are shaking right now because Pete's like, no, DOGE, come in, look at our books. Because you know why? Because they're spending the money wrongly also on defense. Everything is being spent incorrectly, and it's been under the radar for so long because there's been zero transparency.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, no, the American people are paying their taxes. This is it. They want to see this, right? And that's another thing. I keep seeing people put these things saying, well, these lefties, like, that's what you voted for. I hope you like what you got.
I love it.
Love it.
You know what I mean? The one thing I love about the Trump administration is that the people that are in charge like America.
Yes, they love America.
Okay, they love America. The Democrats, they don't love America. You see what they did with America for the last 4 years. They don't like America. I like when people when he was at the other day when he was at the Super Bowl. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but I did see the snippet that they put up of Trump and I think it was Ivanka.
Yeah, she was with him.
And he salutes the flag.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean about, you know,
say what you want. He loves America. Say what
you want about Donald Trump, but the man loves his country. And as long as we have a president that loves the country and wants to see the country thrive, because if you love something, you want it to thrive.
Yeah.
Then we're okay. Will he make mistakes? Absolutely. He's a human being, and he has the right to make a mistake.
But you guys, I think that we were looking at the best administration
in my lifetime.
My lifetime.
In my lifetime.
And in the recent history, this might be the best administration team of people that he put together. Is impressive to me. I am thoroughly impressed with how the handling of all of these departments. I like the transparency. I like the attitude. I just like the idea of it just being
patriotic.
They also are not holding their tongue on things. Just say, even the press secretary, she's just like, it's just like, you know, Bondi, all of these people.
Like even the press secretary, when she talks to you, she talks it.
And she moves on.
When Cringe Jean Pierre was the press secretary, that woman looked down so much.
Yeah, she did.
And it's because she's lying.
And she's fumbling through binders.
And she's lying.
Right.
See, because she can't look at you eye to eye. But that woman, what's her name? Caroline Leavitt. She looks at everybody in their eye.
Yeah.
And see, I watch people when they do stuff. There is, I don't care. Like Danielle used to say this all the time. No matter what people say, is how they say it, or look at how they are saying it. Like you're not looking for the answer. You're looking for how they say it.
When you ask someone a question, you're looking for how they say it, not necessarily the actual answer, but how they say it.
Because people can lie, but you can tell if someone's lying.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And when the one call out I had about Cringe Jean Pierre was that she never looked up. She always had her head down. This is the first Black lesbian immigrant, and she was so proud of that. Yeah, but then when it came to doing her actual job, she couldn't look up because she's lying. She's lying for a demented president that shouldn't have been in office, and a lying vice president pretended like she was Black.
And she's a DEI hire.
But now here we got, you know, this woman that comes in that's talking to us directly and giving us answers. She's not dodging answers. She's answering questions.
And she's moving on.
And that's how you do it.
Love it. I love it. This is great. You guys, DOGE is doing an excellent job as so far. All right. I have no complaints with it. I am loving the meltdowns on the Democratic Party, that they're losing it and they can't take it.
Yeah.
I just love it so much. But you guys, let us know what you think about DOGE. How do you feel about the this whole department? What do you think about that? Because I know there's some people that don't understand how important it is for how we're spending money in the country and what we're spending it on. And as we just showed you, things like transgender operas. I'm not sure that's something that I want to spend my tax dollars on.
And, you know, Caroline said when she read off some of that stuff at the end of that, she said, and this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
There are tons more in there. She said, I haven't even told you yet.
And that's what's called doing line by line. You know, so yeah, but let's know what you guys think. Leave some comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this.